Lou the layup. The rebound is off. They get it to Jordan. Here's Trump. 3 on 3. Jordan and deep. Jordan all the way. Score!
Jordan past Petrovic. Oh, yes! Yes! You can't believe that one!
What Jordan has done, the blueprint that he has laid is incredible, and it's amazing.
Here it is again! Jordan, 2 seconds to go, puts it up, it's good! At the buzzer! Not there, but there he is. What a defensive play by Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan is my GOAT. I play basketball because of Michael Jordan.
Listen, Michael's the best I've ever seen.
Maybe the top player of all time. I mean, I hold him in that kind of regard.
Michael's one of the greatest players that ever played the game.
You know, growing up in the 90s, Michael Jordan
will always be the GOAT. Always. I don't care who comes along.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan was born on February 17, 1963 in Brooklyn, New York. But it was in Wilmington, North Carolina, where he honed the skills that would one day make him a basketball icon.
Ahead to Scotty. Had to run out, catch it, now throws it back to Michael. Out of one hand from 50 off the board.
His early life in a competitive family environment laid the foundation for his relentless work ethic.
You know, my competitive nature went right into the pros. Kevin used to take practices and put me in the starting 5. And he'd make it a competitive thing where the losing team have to run. So now I'm on the winning team, and halfway in the game, halfway in the situation, he would switch me to the losing team. And by 9 times out of 10, the second team would come back and win no matter what he did.
The story of Jordan being cut from his high school varsity team as a sophomore often serves as the first chapter in the legend of his career.
Got cut from the varsity team. I mean, this is a sad story.
It sounds sad, but it's true.
Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for every single day of my life.
This rejection fueled his determination, leading to a summer of intense training that would see him not only make the team the following year, but also star in it.
In the 10th grade, he'd made the team, played JVs, and then his junior, senior year, he played on the varsity team, and as I say, the rest is history.
I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed.
Showcasing early signs of his trademark competitive spirit and dedication to improvement. When Michael Jordan was selected for the prestigious McDonald's All-American Game in 1981, it was a clear sign that a star was on the rise. This event, held annually to showcase the best high school basketball talent in the nation, was the perfect stage for Jordan to display his burgeoning skills and competitive spirit.
I think for me at that time, it was very helpful for my confidence to play against players who were, the best in, my level all over the world.
As he worked so hard in practice every single day.
As a senior in high school, he played in the McDonald's Classic, the nation's premier schoolboy all-star game, and he responded with some dazzling moves.
Reflecting on the game, it's clear that Michael Jordan was not just another high school basketball player. He was a young man on a mission, driven by an insatiable desire to be the best. That game was a glimpse into the future, a preview of the greatness that was to come. Every big college basketball program wanted him.
Michael Jordan was one of the finest basketball players, obviously at Laney High School, and during the senior year, he was rated the #1 player in the nation, so he was a pretty good ball player.
Jordan made a choice that would shape not just his career, but the future of college basketball. He decided on the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, drawn to its rich basketball history and the opportunity to play under the legendary coach Dean Smith. Jordan's college career at North Carolina under coach Dean Smith was pivotal.
A freshman from Wilmington, North Carolina, number 23, Michael Jordan.
When Michael Jordan stepped onto the campus of the University of North Carolina, he was already a remarkable talent. But by the time he left, he had transformed into something even more extraordinary.
Wow, is he up there?
College was where Jordan's skills, mindset, and understanding of basketball deepened.
I just saw him on a Sunday afternoon and I thought, oh my gosh, this may be the best 6'4" high school player I've ever seen. He was just gifted, but he had a desire that was different from everybody else. He told me he wanted to be the best player ever at North Carolina. I said, well, you've got to work harder than you did in high school. And he said, I worked as hard as everybody else. I said, excuse me, I thought you told me you wanted to be the best.
He worked tirelessly on his game, improving his shooting accuracy, defensive abilities, and overall game strategy.
When he first came to us, he was one of the most confident freshmen I've ever seen.
And 2 days later, he came back and said, I want to talk to you, and said, I'm going to show you nobody will ever outwork me, and nobody ever has to this day.
He was just always just, trying to test you. So that was his attitude. And I knew he was going to be an all-star, but I didn't know he was going to be what he turned out to be, arguably the best to ever play the game.
My 3 years in North Carolina was very dear to me. I think that without those 3 years, I couldn't develop into the player and the person that I am become.
Well, I remember recruiting Michael Jordan. I remember him coming in on a weekend, and all I could hear was this big mouth, and it was Michael Jordan. I never thought he was arrogant, but that he was full of confidence. And I was better than Michael Jordan for about 3 weeks. I mean, he dunked on Sam Perkins and I one time, and I still know how he did it.
Not the kind of shot you want in this situation. Beautiful feed.
Boy, did Worthy save that beautifully. He got it off to Jordan.
Well, you told me it's a physical conference. There's the alley-oop to Jordan.
Jordan tried to use a glass. He's on follow. He went up against Brian Williams.
35 years ago, Michael Jordan, New Orleans. Sometimes I remember it like it was yesterday.
His game-winning shot in the 1982 NCAA championship game against Georgetown was a sign of clutch moments to come.
1:16 left.
Georgetown went up by 1 with less than a minute left to play.
We're down 1, 35 to 40 seconds to play.
With 32 seconds left on the clock, Dean Smith called for a timeout.
Shot, and Dean Smith asks and gets timeout.
And he said, we're exactly where we want to be. We're going to decide who wins this game.
Most coaches, though, with a timeout, go ahead and change their defense just to throw the other team off stride. 32 seconds to go.
As they were walking out, Coach slapped Michael on the rear end and said, if you get it, Michael, knock it in.
That's the day that my name went from Mike Jordan to Michael Jordan.
18. Michael Jordan. 14.
Before anything else happened, that shot gave me the idea that I could be better than what people think, and, surpass any expectations that I may have for myself.
At UNC, Jordan earned the Naismith College Player of the Year award in 1984 and was a part of the 1984 U.S. Olympic basketball team that won gold in Los Angeles, setting the stage for his entry into the NBA.
Here comes Carolina, down to Jordan, yes!
Because I didn't think he was going to be as good as he is now, to be honest. I really didn't think that.
Drafted by the Chicago Bulls in 1984.
The Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan, the University of North Carolina.
In 1984, a young Michael Jordan, fresh out of the University of North Carolina, was drafted by the Chicago Bulls. His talent on the court was undeniable, and his potential was sky high. At the same time, Nike, a rising company known for its running shoes, was eager to make a mark in the basketball world.
This is why the people at Nike, especially Sonny Vaccaro, pushed to sign Jordan to a deal.
Where I first saw Michael was when they beat Georgetown.
That's the first time you ever saw him?
That's the first time.
Nike co-founder Phil Knight and marketing executive Sonny Vaccaro saw an opportunity in Jordan. They offered him an unprecedented 5-year deal worth $500,000 annually, plus royalties. Nike promised Jordan creative control over his own line of shoes, a bold move that convinced him to join forces with them.
What Michael Jordan did, he started the whole new world for athletes.
Who said man was not meant to fly? Air Jordan.
Michael Jordan, to the world, should be remembered as starting an industry that was not there. There's no question about the superiority of what Nike. Michael Jordan did that.
Standing ovation for Michael Jordan from North Carolina, the number 3 pick in the NBA draft.
Expectations were high for Jordan, and he didn't disappoint. From the get-go, Jordan's impact on the court was undeniable.
Here is the man. They call him Mr. Jordan in Chicago.
He brought an electrifying mix of athleticism, skill, and competitive intensity that the Bulls and, frankly, the entire NBA hadn't seen before.
He puts it in on an amazing move.
When he was at practice, he played practice like it was the last thing on earth. He's a type of player that when he goes into practice, he gives it his all, he works hard, and the games become easy for him.
His rookie season was a showcase of his incredible talent, as he quickly became the team's leading scorer, averaging an impressive 28.2 points per game.
This guy is tough. He's tough.
Jordan's contract is with the Chicago Bulls. Since he arrived, the stadium, which used to be 2/3 empty, has been sold out every game.
The difference right now is Jordan brings it up. 50 seconds remaining. Jordan with a seam. What a jam!
When I play basketball, I play 110%. And a lot of things is done instinctively.
Jordan's performances were a breath of fresh air for the Chicago Bulls, a team that had been struggling for relevance in the years prior to his arrival. One of the defining moments of his rookie season came during the All-Star weekend.
Here's Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls, one of the hot candidates for Rookie of the Year honors as he slams it home.
Where he participated in the slam dunk contest. Though he didn't win, his iconic free throw line dunk left fans and fellow players in awe, cementing his status as a must-watch player.
Here's Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. Here he goes.
A shot that would be famously known as the Jordan Vault. After winning Rookie of the Year,
First award honors the new kid on the block, the NBA Rookie of the Year, from the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan.
his early years in the NBA were marked by breathtaking performances, including scoring 63 points against the Boston Celtics in the playoffs.
And once when an injury forced him to sit out 64 games,
last year's Rookie of the Year, Michael Jordan, out with a broken left foot.
He came back and scored 63 points, and that while playing against the best team in the league.
We're playing the Boston Celtics, Pat, but I think it's going to be more of a five-man game.
You know, when Michael came in, it was different because he was a scorer. He had a scoring mentality. And as he got better, they started getting better players around him. But I go, man, can this kid play? They keep talking about how good he is.
I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
Well, Jordan would give it a shot.
Air Jordan's getting ready to take off.
He'd want the ball more than anything else. Everyone else would want him to have the ball.
He scored and scored.
You could tell in 1986 that he was going to be an unbelievable player, the best player in the league potentially going forward.
And scored.
Jordan banks it in, and Jordan with 40 points.
Everything was going. He was making one shot better than the next.
He can tie it up here and send the game in overtime.
He ended the night on 63 points.
Overtime. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
The legendary Larry Bird said this about Jordan after the game.
That's not Michael Jordan. That's God disguised as Michael Jordan.
You know, it's a great compliment because, you know, I feel that he's probably one of the best in the game of basketball.
However, success didn't come easy. In the late 1980s, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls faced their toughest challenge. The Detroit Pistons, known as the Bad Boys for their rough play.
The scoring column, still missing, and Pippen runs it down with a Lambeer, and they're going to call a foul on him. Lambeer and Daly.
This rivalry was intense, with the Pistons employing Jordan rules to aggressively target Jordan and stop him at any cost.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, and I get a phone call, and it's Isaiah. And he says, I finally figured out what we need to do to stop Jordan.
Despite Jordan's incredible talent, the Bulls fell to the Pistons in the playoffs for 3 straight years.
We were in total despair. They had done it to us again. They had beaten us.
Fueling a burning desire in Jordan to overcome this obstacle.
Very deserving championship team. Congratulations to you, the Pistons, and the city of Detroit.
The turning point came in the 1990 to 1991 season.
Goes to the middle. Great pass.
It's a new top dog in the NBA East. It's Michael Jordan and the Bulls as they move ahead of Boston.
After years of physical and mental preparation, the Bulls were ready.
Michael Jordan.
In the earlier seasons, Jordan and the Bulls would break down against the Pistons.
You would break down mentally and become individuals, which is the way they want you to be.
But this year was different.
As a unit, when everybody's contributing, we were very strong and we were able to overpower them.
We were tremendously excited because we felt we had gotten 2 young athletes, 2 guys who could run and jump and were quick and had all the athletic skills we wanted.
As the Bulls entered the playoffs against the Pistons, they had something to prove.
We had to prove on the court what we hadn't the year before, that we could play under pressure.
And that was early. Here's Jordan in the race with Thomas.
Phil's idea was to take advantage of Michael and Pippen, who just fly around like sleek Dobermans.
He is splitting every trap, every help situation.
Nice fake by Jordan. Goes to the scoop. Jordan rebounds. He has Pippen. And Armstrong in the backcourt. Ran up front with Williams and Pippen. Jordan changed his mind and was able to find Grant. And Pippen able to feed it off to Jordan.
After getting beat 4-0 in 4 games, the Pistons had had enough.
As time runs down, they left the bench, although there's 7 and 9, 10 seconds remaining. The Pistons just left.
Michael, for the last 3 years, it has been Detroit that has gone on.
I think for the city of Chicago and for the organization, this is a big step for us, and we can only go and move up. Right now, we're looking forward to the finals and trying to do our best.
Paving the way for their first NBA championship. Defeating the Pistons was a pivotal moment for Jordan and the Bulls. It marked the end of the Pistons' dominance and the beginning of the Bulls' era.
What a move by Michael Jordan.
This victory wasn't just about advancing to the NBA Finals. It symbolized Jordan's growth as a player and the Bulls' emergence as a dynasty. The hard-fought battles with the Pistons taught Jordan and the Bulls the value of perseverance, setting the stage for their legendary run through the 1990s.
The Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
I used to ask him, what's it like to guard Mike? Mike? You mean Black Jesus? So the level of fear that he inspired in others was insane.
His ability to take over games, his ability to want to have that last shot.
Yes, and it counts.
And demoralize you.
Yes.
And scare the living hell out of you.
I believe that every night he stepped on the floor, he put on the cape.
Michael Jordan is the best player ever.
Charles Barkley is a great, great player, but Michael Jordan is in a class by himself, clearly superior to anybody else in the league.
Whose game is it? It's Michael Jordan's game.
Last year was it was a honeymoon. It was a kiss of the beloved almost.
This is the 104th game of the year for the Bulls, including the playoffs and regular season. That's a long, long haul, and it could all end here this afternoon.
Michael Jordan and the Bulls had made it to the NBA championship once again.
For your world champion, Chicago Bulls!
This year's has been an odyssey. It's been a journey filled with travail and pitfalls, and it's been tough. It's been a real hard road.
To become only the 4th NBA franchise to win back-to-back titles.
Michael
And as the game began, it quickly became clear that once again, Chicago would be traveling on treacherous terrain.
Going to steal, and now the slam dunk by Kersey.
There's a steal by Jerome. Mercy, he's been everywhere.
The Bulls were struggling to find a rhythm.
Chicago has to really be careful, Joe, that they don't dig too big a hole here.
Blazers with their biggest lead of the night.
But Michael Jordan once again showed why he later would be regarded as the greatest of all time.
Jordan, when he gets in the air, he now has 3 defenders occupied. It's just a matter of picking out the right man. That time it was Grant.
Jordan, shot clock at 3. And Michael Jordan.
The Bulls were on the verge of completing one of the greatest comebacks in finals history.
Superman's back in the building! Superman is back in the building!
Shot clock at 3. Yes!
You dig in and get a stop.
Here's Jordan. Here's Jordan.
By completing one of the most heroic comebacks in NBA history.
The Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the second straight season.
The following season, Michael Jordan and the Bulls would do it all over again.
The first three-peat, that Michael Jordan. People say, who's the greatest player of all time? It's that Michael Jordan. No one has come close.
The third title, the three-peat. He had a game, it was like a 3-game stretch. Had 42, 44, then dropped 55 in game 5.
Another beautiful day in the Valley of the Sun. Jordan for 3. Yes, Jordan passing Magic for 5th place among all-time playoff scorers. Michael Jordan makes it 40 points. Charles Barkley, 42 points, 13 rebounds. Michael Jordan, 42 points, 12 rebounds.
This game put the Bulls in front 2-0 in the series.
And Chicago do. Michael Jordan hitting on his first attempt. Points seldom used during the season. Jordan, yes, and a count.
Michael Jordan was unstoppable, hitting point after point. The Suns stood no chance.
7-second disparity between the shooters. Clock in the game clock. Jordan, yes, and it counts. For point number 55. Miller fired. So the Chicago Bulls have taken a 3-1 lead.
The Suns won Game 5, which let the series into the 6th game.
Jonas will stop. Michael Jordan on a pull-up. Yes, Suns 12, Bulls 9, Jordan for 3, and Michael Jordan. Jordan hits another 3. Mike Jordan from long range. That's a 3. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth. Here is Jordan. Yes.
The NBA is a league of stars, and none shine brighter than Michael Jordan.
With 10 seconds left, the Bulls were behind by 2 points.
He trusts his teammate to make the shot.
The Chicago Bulls had won their 3rd consecutive championship. But not everything in Jordan's life went according to plan. Earlier in the season, during the Eastern Conference Finals against the New York Knicks, Michael was spotted in Atlantic City gambling.
And of course, that much talked about visit to an Atlantic City casino by Michael Jordan on Thursday.
It's unfortunate that it's become an issue, and he's got to explain it away, but I don't think there was anything wrong with it.
It's attacked in my private life, and I really didn't like it, and I don't agree with it.
He did not want to discuss his Atlantic City sojourn.
He's going to take care of himself, and if he was out that night or not, whatever, he still came to play, and that's all that we're concerned about.
But I felt a need to come out and express that and tell the truth so you guys can quit hallucinating.
That's his business, and it shouldn't be publicized. Something like this is overblown, and I think it hurts his reputation, especially with kids, and that's too bad.
In the summer after completing the three-peat, something would happen that would forever change Jordan's life.
James Jordan, the father of basketball superstar Michael Jordan.
Mr. Jordan had pulled off the side of the road to rest for a while. He was shot to death while in his car.
Two 18-year-olds accused of murdering the father of basketball star Michael Jordan appeared in court.
I think that I looked at the death of my father. Unfortunately, it happened at the hands of another human being.
Investigators said they had concrete evidence linking Daniel Green and Larry Demery to the murder of James Jordan.
But I had him for 32 years, and he taught me a lot in 32 years.
Word is Michael is planning a press conference Saturday morning at 8 a.m., the first time he will directly address the public since the murder of his father.
It was a lot of times where I didn't know if I was going to make it here. Basketball, I haven't even thought about basketball. I didn't even think about basketball before all this happened. Very few, in today's society, get the chance to spend that much time with their parents and get that type of influence.
Michael Jordan's father was also the reason MJ stuck his tongue out when playing basketball. When Michael was a kid, he had observed his dad do it when he was engaged in projects.
As far as I can remember, it originated from my granddad. And if I'm working on my car, something around the house, I find myself bored.
After playing 9 seasons in the league, a 30-year-old Michael Jordan had decided to step away from basketball.
I'm very solid with my decision of not to play the game of basketball in the NBA. When I lose the sense of motivation and the sense of to prove something as a basketball player, it's time for me to move away from the game of basketball.
Michael Jordan decided to pursue a career in baseball, which was a surprise for many fans.
The star of the day, the world's greatest basketball player, trying to make it in the major leagues.
He only managed to play one official major league game, but played a total of 127 games in minor league baseball for the Birmingham Barons.
The White Sox gave me an opportunity just to go out there and see what type of skills I had.
On the day of Michael's major league debut, the crowd was electric.
There was a buzz like something special. Everybody wanted to see if Michael Jordan could make the switch from NBA superstar to a big league baseball player.
The crowd even booed another White Sox player for not letting Jordan catch the ball.
I've never seen a second baseman get booed for not letting the right fielder catch the ball before.
On March 18, 1995, 2 years after his initial retirement from basketball, Michael Jordan was back.
Michael Jordan was pegged for the Chicago White Sox AA club, but he refused to challenge the baseball union, and Jordan left camp last week.
We knew he was coming back. Now we know when, and the news is music to the ears of Bulls fans.
Jordan, the former 3-time MVP, has been practicing for the last couple of days with his old Bulls club.
Michael announced his comeback in a 2-word press release.
It came in a 2-word statement, which is now just begging to have a Nike campaign built around it. Quote unquote, I'm back.
Michael summed up his decision to return in 2 words, I'm back.
Would you like to see him come back? Yes, I would. I think that he would be a good addition to this team.
In his comeback season, the Bulls had only managed a record of 34 wins and 31 losses.
For 21 months, the NBA was without its supreme artist. The best in the world is back. Today, an artist returns to his true canvas, the hardboard courts of the NBA. Michael Jordan is back.
But with Jordan back in the lineup, they went 13-4 in their last 17 games, leaving them with 47 wins and 34 losses for the season, which put them 5th in the Eastern Conference.
Number 45, Michael Jordan. Still looking for his first field goal.
In his first season back, he famously changed his number back to number 23 in the Eastern Conference playoffs.
I felt like 45 wasn't natural. I wanted to go back to a feeling I had with 23.
Tonight, and despite
the prohibition of wearing number 23 by the NBA, Michael is wearing it anyway.
I didn't have enough time to get my body back to a basketball body.
Michael has not been able to sustain the effort over the course of a game.
Does Jordan have the legs to last throughout the playoffs?
You're looking at an exhausted Michael Jordan. Tough shot by Michael. Air ball.
Of course, the biggest offseason news for the Chicago Bulls, besides the lockout, was the free agent acquisition of power forward Dennis Rodman. Good move, bad move? What's your take on it? I would say it's a gutsy move.
Going into the 1995-96 season, the Bulls had signed controversial Dennis Rodman.
Pushes Stacy. Stacy pushes back. Now, what are they going to call? Double foul? Probably, yeah. Oh, Stacy went at him that time.
But Rodman would turn out to become an instrumental player for the Bulls' second three-peat.
That was one of Michael's lowest points, is when they came back and they didn't win.
The Bulls missed that power forward, that rebounder, that defensive presence with the loss of Horace Grant.
All the offseason moves in the NBA, none got more attention than the trade of Dennis Rodman to the Chicago Bulls.
The Bulls team was looking much better than the previous season, with Jordan back in shape, an informed Stephen Kerr, a prime Scottie Pippen, and newly signed Dennis Rodman. They felt they had a good chance to go all the way.
Having Michael back, we felt like that, this was going to be our opportunity to go for it again.
Knocked away, bring it in. Dennis gives it to Mike. Wow, a 10! A 10 and a posted play from Michael. Team defense, Howard. Flying right back to put it down. Season game this year between Indiana and Chicago, the last regular season game for the Bulls. Jordan, he was surrounded. Jordan. Well, Michael's feeling better.
The Bulls had an amazing regular season, winning a record-breaking 72 games out of 82 possible. The trio of Chicago had found each other, and together they became unstoppable.
Pippen going glass. Scottie Pippen, out of 1 minute to go. First half. Ewing got the step. And rejected by Rodman.
But what's unique about this team is that in years past, teams generally have had to take some time to gel as a group.
Pen to the floor.
And this year you've added Michael back to the mix, Dennis Rodman as a starter, and they came together so quickly.
Jordan for three to tie it. For three to tie it. He does!
Everybody realized that this guy was back in his full force as, the most dominant player in the game.
The Bulls had once again made it to the NBA Finals.
To get back on top and to do it in a fashion that you alleviate all the questions that people had about your skills and your leadership qualities, and to, more or less just say, hey, we're back.
Approximately 3 years after Jordan's father was shot and killed, Michael Jordan would get a chance to secure his fourth NBA title on Father's Day.
NBA on NBC. The 1996 NBA Finals.
And this crowd much livelier than we saw in games 1 and 2 here in Chicago. Dennis Rodman very quiet in game 5 in Seattle. Michael Jordan. Oh, he knew on the release. Scottie Pippen.
The Bulls had won the first 3 games of the 1996 NBA Finals series. And with the Supersonics winning the following 2, the series had got into the 6th game.
Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Pippen continues to play perfect basketball. And the people in Chicago are ecstatic.
Here's Pippen leading the 3-on-2 as they spread the floor. Pippen for Rodman on the right. Receiving an ovation as he sits down with 18 rebounds.
The Chicago Bulls was looking to once again become champions of the NBA.
The Michael Jordan comeback will be completed.
With Jordan, Pippen and Rodman leading the team to victory.
memorable moment for Michael Jordan.
I know that the first one was sweet, but how much sweeter was this one?
Well, you know, I can't even put it in words. My Father's Day, what it means to me. I know he's watching.
The following 2 seasons saw the Chicago Bulls dominate the league as they had just done in 1996.
The motivation was to show people that the first time wasn't a fluke, that we were going to be on top for a long period of time, and this is a way to put a stamp on that. To do it twice.
All right, here's Jordan. Across the midcourt line. Michael Jordan from midcourt. Down, Jordan with Ewing back. Jordan around Ewing. Oh, what a move, and the foul.
Great outlet from Rodman to Kukoc. Here is Michael. Oh, yes. What the fans came to see.
Michael was capable of incorporating Scotty's abilities.
Everything has been special because we've tried to take it to a higher level.
And, you know, telling him sometimes you got to help me out, and some nights I'm not going to have it. I'll help you out if you don't have it, and we'll tag team this thing together.
To become the greatest duo to ever play the game.
Goes to, they do it defensively. Michael Jordan with the takeoff and the crush. Jordan to win!
Michael Jordan being Michael Jordan. Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2, now to 1. Here's Jordan. Yes! It's all over. The Chicago Bulls have won at the buzzer. Game 1 of the best of 7 on the jump shot by Michael Jordan.
Jordan and the Bulls had for the second time made it to the NBA Finals 2 seasons in a row. In the lead up to Game 5 of the Finals series, something happened that potentially could lose the game for the Bulls.
For Game 5, I'm up at Marriott, 10:30 at night. I'm hungry.
And that night, only one pizza place was open.
You find one pizza place open. One. 5 guys delivering one pizza.
And then, without thinking twice,
I ate the pizza. All by myself, nobody else eats.
I put this pizza down, I said, I got a bad feeling about this.
I wake up about 2:30, throwing up left and right.
Now the big story here tonight concerning Michael Jordan's physical conditions. He is suffering from flu-like symptoms.
Because of Jordan's illness, the Jazz was suddenly the favorites. But Jordan being Jordan, he wanted to play the game.
Jordan to the crossover, way off, visibly shaken by the flu symptoms. And Jordan trying to slip it, and then took it back and hit. So Michael Jordan.
The Bulls were trailing behind from the beginning of the game.
The defense is that, you double team, and then both guys back on Scotty. Emphatic dunk.
Michael Jordan coming out, resting the last couple of minutes of that first quarter. Just a little right to left move to easily shake.
Jordan puts moves on Hornacek. Look at Michael Jordan. See the ice bag being applied to the back of the neck of Michael, who has been exhausted.
I didn't want to give up. You know, no matter how sick I was, how tired I was, how low on energy I was, I felt an obligation, to my team, to the city of Chicago, to go out and give that extra effort.
Right from the start. Jordan fires for yes, and he's tied the game at 77.
For no reason, they double team Scotty down low and leaving Michael Jordan. He knocks down this 3, gives him the huge lead.
Chicago went up by 3 points, with only 6 seconds left to play.
As they open the floor, only able to put it home for Tony Kukoc. 3-point Chicago lead.
And the Jazz weren't able to come back.
And the Chicago Bulls have defeated the Utah Jazz.
Jordan still hadn't fully recovered from his illness, but still took the lead in Game 6.
The 1997 NBA Finals. It's Game 6, the Utah Jazz versus the Chicago Bulls.
The Bulls had a 3-2 lead. If they win Game 6, they are champions once again.
Now Jordan trying to go to work on Russell, and he does. Way off.
Watch your face.
And Scottie Pippen. Utah Jazz looking to tie the series, which would set up a 7th and final game here at the United Center on Sunday night. Pippen, yes. Well, the Chicago Bulls are hoping to wrap it up here tonight, and Michael Jordan cuts it to a 5-point Utah lead. Finishes with the fadeaway.
Looking to help out on Jordan or Pippen.
Oh, Jordan scooped it up on the steal. Pippen for three. Yes.
The Bulls was behind with 9 points early in the fourth quarter, but they had worked their way back, only trailing by 2 points.
Curry for three. Yes. Jordan with the spin. Yes. And the Bulls lead by 3. Scottie Pippen looking for Michael Jordan. Checks the clock. 5 on the 24. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot. Kerr does. 5 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining in regulation. The inbound. Pippen rolls it to Kukoc. The Chicago Bulls have won their 5th championship in the last 7 years.
As the 96-97 season went to a close, the future of the Chicago Bulls was uncertain. Many players on the roster were past their prime, and there were speculations that, whether or not, this was the time for the franchise to rebuild.
We're entitled to defend what we have until we lose it.
The Chicago Bulls entered the season as the reigning champions, with 5 titles in the previous 7 years.
Their 5th championship in the last 7 years.
Yet, storm clouds loomed over the team. Scottie Pippen, frustrated over his contract, delayed his surgery and missed the early part of the season. Meanwhile, coach Phil Jackson was informed by management that it would be his last season with the Bulls, creating an air of uncertainty. At 35, Jordan was not just a global icon, but also the epitome of a competitor. Leading the league in scoring with an average of 28.7 points per game, Jordan's leadership and relentless drive were the heartbeats of the Bulls. The playoffs began with the Bulls dominating the New Jersey Nets and defeating the Charlotte Hornets.
Working against Kittles. Gets Kittles in the air and Jordan hits. And the Chicago Bulls are the only team to sweep a first-round series. Now Mason is on to Michael Jordan. The fall away by Jordan, and he hits. The Bulls did what they set out to do. Knock out the Charlotte Hornets and not having go back to Charlotte.
However, the Eastern Conference Finals against the Indiana Pacers proved to be a grueling battle. The series went to a decisive Game 7, where Jordan's 28 points and the Bulls' staunch defense secured their passage to the NBA Finals.
Ball tipped out to Pippen. Kerr can tie it. And does!
5 on the shot clock. Michael dumps it off to an open Longley. And the Bulls have a little bit of breathing room. McKee for 3. It's long. And Michael is there, as he so often is. The Bulls will survive the Pacers and on to the finals. For the 6th time in 8 years, go the Chicago Bulls.
In the finals, the Bulls faced the Utah Jazz, led by Karl Malone and John Stockton. The series was a fierce contest of wills, with each game hanging in the balance. The defining moment came in Game 6 in Utah. With the Bulls trailing by 3 points in the final minute, Jordan scored quickly to cut the lead.
Brings them to within 1.
Then, in a legendary defensive play, he stole the ball from Karl Malone.
Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it.
Dribbling down the court, Jordan executed a perfect crossover.
Or from championship number 6. Jordan. Open. Chicago with the lead. Harper's on him. Behind the screen. Harper got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls
have won their first ever for the 2nd straight season. 3 straight. The 95-96
have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their 2nd three-peat.